opening week at Silver Dollar City. I'm excited to be here, and let's go check out all the changes for this year. So it is opening week here at Silver Dollar City. They actually opened up yesterday, so this is day 2. Weather's supposed to be a little bit better. A little chilly, but windy, so hopefully the wind won't mess with my sound too much. Of course, opening part of the year, there's always lots of changes. A couple food places moved around, several stores have moved around. There'll be a few that aren't even open yet. And then, of course, we got the whole Riverfront, which we're going to take a good look at all the construction going on there, and who knows what we might find out. Looking forward to it. Got to get my rides on Time Traveler and Outlaw Run and other stuff, and it's going to be a fun day. So, of course, the bakery is smelling like fresh cinnamon rolls. Oh boy, diet. We got to keep dieting, but good stuff there. And then, of course, up to Hospitality House. Cave entrance is right in there. And let's go check out what the park has to offer today. This should be fun. So you can kind of see with the show schedule. Not a whole lot of shows scheduled today. We're a couple minutes before opening, and fairly quiet. It's a Thursday. Should be pretty quiet today. We are right about opening time, so they should be opening the gates. In fact, I think they might just have no opening ceremony today. But it's early part of the year, though. They always do things just a smidge differently this time of the year. And yep, you can see our little crowd heading on to Time Traveler. So guess where we're going to go first. So a little bit of a crowd up here. Now, one of the things that's been kind of funny is the line ends up going over to Thunderation a lot of times. So I'm going to walk around and just kind of check and see what we got. Not a bad line. And it looks like it's neither one's quite open yet. Oh, wait. Sorry, Time Traveler is. So as you can see, that line I just passed, that's all waiting for Thunderation. Except most of them don't know it. They all think they're in line for Time Traveler. And then they end up at the wrong coaster over there. But we're coming to this guy right here. First rides of the day. You can see a little bit of the construction work here at Echo Hollow. They've definitely expanded that building. They're working on this other one here. And going to make it a little bit nicer for those who are performing there this year. So, first ride of the season. Believe it or not, in all the rides I've had on Time Traveler, that was actually the first time I have not been in the front or the back row, which is kind of entertaining. I had a lot of fun, had a couple young girls that just screamed the whole way in that kind of scared but having fun
Welcome
way.
Back, travelers.
Time to go check out the rest of the park. And for those wondering, yes, they do still have the awesome Time Traveler steampunk hats. So my daughter will be happy, and they also have the goggles. Lots of fun stuff here. So next up's a coaster I don't ride anywhere near as often, but I will today. I found out somebody watching the channel is working on it, so we'll catch Thunderation. Short lines. Nice little family mine train. It's a little bumpy, but that's part of what it's supposed to be. Yes, you can see a friend of mine there. My one big thing with Thunderation, don't ride on the end seats, the front or back of the car. Ride in the middle, a little bit smoother. Fun little ride, great first coaster for the kids. 30 minutes after opening, got my Time Traveler ride in, got a ride on Thunderation. You can see it's getting a little more crowded over here now. So we're going to head on down to the other end of the park as far as coasters go and see if we can catch Powder Keg, Wildfire, and Outlaw Run. Take a tour by the train depot. I think traffic will be lighter. You can kind of see Tom and Hutch River Blast still down there. You can see Crossroads Pizza and not much else. But there's lots of work going on down there. If you listen close, you can actually even hear construction vehicles backing up, which is kind of a weird sound to hear in the 1880s. So here's one of the closed businesses. Open up April 10th. And that's going to be true for several of the bigger businesses here that they'll open up during their, let's see, what do they call it? Festival of Wonder. Sorry, I still want to call it World Fest. But you can see lots of bare trees. It's early in the year. Can't wait till spring when this all begins to bloom again. It's just beautiful. Let's see, and the lathe isn't running yet. It'll probably also be April 10th, I'm betting. You can see there's a sign on the front there. Same thing with home furnishings. It's kind of a quiet end of the park this time of year. So down this way, Wildfire, Powder Keg, Fire in the Hole, and then Outlaw Run. Want some fresh pork rinds? Yum, yum. A little bit of Silver Dollar City history here for you. Heller Spring is actually named for Shad Heller, who was the original blacksmith here. He also ran shows in Branson and a bunch of other stuff. But that's what used to power a lot of the tools that they would use. And you can see that there's various different tools and implements sitting around here. But Shad really, outside of the Hershans, Shad was kind of the face of Silver Dollar City for a long time. As far as Powder Keg goes, well, I may not be taken around right now. That is a full queue house, and I'm spoiled. I don't wait in long lines. So we're gonna head on over and catch Wildfire next. I don't usually show too much of the merchandise, but this is kind of cool. But you can see it's a definitely windy day, which is why they have the boards on there. And they've got a whole rack of clearance shirts. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but when I see a clearance price of $10, whew. Oh, and then this shirt here, yeah, that one might be me. But they've got a few neat little shirts. Tie-dye for those still into that. And then long sleeve hoodies as well. I don't think I've ever seen that side before, but that's pretty funny. So my guess is this is just for practice for the season. But yes, they're actually starting to operate American Plunge in the 40s. It's got to be to give the crew practice for the season, because I can't imagine anybody riding it today. But there you go. Take a plunge on the plunge. My favorite booths, and one I love to see here every year. We used to call out to them on the back of the train. I don't think they do that anymore. But happy to see that at least one booth that's been here for years is still here. You know, they just put up fences last year, but you can see these not only look new, you can smell fresh wood. So I almost wonder if they rebuilt these recently. Took them down during the off season and put them back up. But you can smell fresh cut wood from them. I'm gonna take a look and see if I can't find some knot holes or some other things to be able to try to shoot through, and see if we can't get another look at what's going on. And hey, maybe have to take a ride on the barn swing just to take a look. Not that I can take pictures on the barn swing. We'll see what we can do. Well, I'll run isn't open. Maybe because it's cold or other reasons, but we'll give you a quick look at the merchandise they've got. We got some nice shirts and take time to coast. Although I have to admit, I always liked those. I think that's a pretty cool shirt. So, second ride of the day for Outlaw Run. Still a great ride. Slightly rougher than it has been in the past, but that's just age, I'm sure. But still got a really good ride out of it. So, love that coaster. My only complaint is I wish it was a little bit longer. And then, yeah, as it's aged, a little bit smoother. So, trying to get what pictures I can of the construction. It's just really hard because you can see they've got these massive walls. There are gaps in the floor of it, so I'm trying to get a couple that way. But they definitely have it well screened. So when we have insurmountable obstacles, we find unique ways to get around them, such as the gap at the bottom of the fence. So let's see if we can actually spot anything down here. I'll try not to get my feet wet while I do this. And there you go. Okay, so here's another good look at the construction site. Again, I'm kind of shooting under the fence here. But you can see this is right over by Barn Swing. That is the walkway here up towards Barn Swing where the old rib house used to be. But you can see lots of equipment moving around, lots of dirt getting moved. So not a whole lot there to see other than dirt. That's what's happening. Alright, so here's our look at the construction zone. You can see actually what's right in front of me here. There's Barn Swing and the walkway down to it. So that way you know where I'm at. This is all new pavement, new cement. So this has all been redone. Tom and Huck's is right next to me. That is actually where my wife used to work several years back. The Riverside Rib House is now in the barn. So if you want your barbecue there, that's going to be where you go. Swing back around, you can see there's actually a construction fence behind Tom and Huck's. The sluice is totally gone, removed, bye-bye. However, Dockside Theater is still here. There were a couple that were insisting that it was disappearing. Well, nope, it's still here, show scheduled. And in fact, there's actually a show going on right now. Or at least getting ready to. But then you can see a nice big look at all of the construction. And we'll try and come up and give you a little bit better look. Fairly high construction walls on this end too. Don't have the gaps in the bottom. But let's see what we can find out. Maybe we'll take a step up onto a planter. Okay, and that kind of gives you a look. Here's a look inside the rib house. You can see the sales counters. And they've actually got set up like several little booths. So you can get a variety of choices that way. And then the platters. And actually, this is your actual rib house there. And then this one over here is loaded nachos and baked potatoes. So you can see Tom and Huck's this year's picked up a lot of the minerals, the geodes, and other stones like that, along with other stuff. So no sandals or anything like that anymore. They do actually still have the pearls, which I'm confused. Why do we have it in two places? But hey, not everything makes sense. So continuing our tour of construction walls. And you can see all sorts of new pavement. It looks a little corridor-ish. Not too bad. Now, this is actually our temporary sluice. Kind of a different look for it. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is just for this year as opposed to a permanent thing. But we'll see. It's now called Huck's Hidden Treasures. So if you still want to do it, this is where you come. This is actually all new landscaping here as well. All new waterfalls, because the train depot is right up there. And this is just plain barren woods. This is actually where the Bobcat came out to visit me at the train depot the one time. So they've added in all this waterfall and landscaping and bringing it right up to the sluice and then down to it. So who knows, maybe this will actually be permanent. It's actually a nice way of opening this area up as well. And I really like what they did with the landscaping. It looks natural, even though I know it's not, because I know what it used to look like. But it's actually very pretty. And then, of course, the exit of the theater is right there as well. So you can see Dugan's Trading Post is gone as well. That one's no surprise. But as you come up, Dockside Restaurant is still up here. So the Dockside Grill's still there. The other playhouse is definitely still here. Kids yelling for their parents are still here. But you can see the fence. And you know what? I do see a peephole, which he just spotted as well. So we'll see what we can see over there. And you can definitely hear him working. So here's your peephole view. Ooh, look, it's dirt. So here's another little change down here in the riverfront. The Pearl Shack. This is actually where the magic shop was last year. But this is the one part of Rube Dugan's that they have kept. I actually much prefer this to what they had done with it in the past. It's nice to not see it as part of Tom and Huck's or Rube Dugan's. And actually, they've got it set up as a nice little shop there. You've got a whole bunch of seashells and other things in there. And then some nice jewelry settings and very nice presentation. This, honestly, I think this is what they should have had it with years ago as opposed to the setup that they had. So, that's a nice improvement in my opinion. As for the magic shop, where is it? Well, we'll just have to keep looking for it. So now we're coming up to Fireman's Landing. And you can kind of see, again, construction walls everywhere around. Fireman's Landing hasn't really changed too much. I'll let you get to see. Nice kids area. But they're going to finally, I think, have removed the waterfront part of it. And you can see those construction walls go all the way to the back. And even the gazebo that used to have a nice little water view. Well, yes, now you can see a fence. Woohoo! And that's about all you can see.
The mystery, she's a mighty river.
Enjoyed the Peterson show. They actually play at the Little Opry Theater over in Branson, which is actually part of the IMAX Theater complex. So if you like bluegrass, definitely go check them out. Yeah, I just spent money on CDs that maybe I shouldn't, but they were good. They were really good. So get home, I'm looking them up on Spotify to see if they're on there as well. So Peterson's with an E-N. One of the other performers out here. Done this for a couple years now, beginning of years, Chris Stanley, which is a little dark, but you can see him sitting up in there. Chris does a bunch of magic and comedy. He's also actually part of the Smoke on the Mountain show at Little Opry Theater. And great guy. So if you get a chance to go see Chris, go say hi. Tell him SirWillow sent you. He probably won't know who you're talking about, but that's okay.
Awfully on this heart of mine.
One of the little hidden secrets that so many people miss around here. The singing foot. And then another look at some more landscaping they've done. Cleaning up, prettifying areas. This will be something new. This is actually right by the train crossing. So you can kind of see there is the crossing and the pottery. And it's not just going to be a sweepstakes entry, but now they'll actually be selling trailblazers, show-leopard passes, and other things. Make it a little more useful than just an empty kiosk sitting there. So a little look around Midtown. There's, of course, Percy's is still here. If you get the taco plate, they're now actually doing 3 tacos on the plate instead of 2, so small little change there. And then you can see Grandfather's Mansion, of course, favorite of kids of all ages. And then we've got Buffalo Bills, I guess is what this is this year, and not open till April 10th, of course. And then we will head down. Slight little change there. Actually, looks like they may have it set up for some other things later. As we come down, you've got Miss Kate's Clothing. This poor shop has been so many things over the years. And so, now it's quilting. You can see that the bridge is still there. And then, what had been the quilt shop, right here, is empty at this point. So we will have to see what comes in here later on. But we're going to head on down towards the train, see if we can catch our rides, and see if we can get a better look at all the construction.
I'm your conductor, Brian Clark, and we shall be going on a journey around the park today. Now on your right-hand side is Wilson's Farm. Old farmer Wilson decided to build a big old barn and an even bigger barn swing. Yeah, that thing is so big it'll take you up 70 feet in the air and drop you down at 50 miles an hour. Some kind of construction. They asked, well, what kind of construction? Well, the kind they're building. Now just up ahead, we're going to be passing Fireman's Landing. That's the place for the Willows to go. Totally dedicated to our firefighters.
So I do have to admit, I do like the looks of these shirts, especially the Frisco ones. But even those are a nice classic look for a shirt. Those are nice. Look at the construction and some of the other changes around here. There is still a magic shop here, even though I didn't show you that location. Still more that's going to be changing over the course of the year, and we'll watch that whole construction site come up. But as for me, it's cold, and I'm actually starting to shiver just a little bit, just thanks to the wind, and tired. I want to make sure I can get this stuff uploaded for y'all tonight. So I'm getting ready to head on out, maybe catch a couple things on the way out, and then try and get this thing all edited and put together and uploaded for you. So hopefully we can get it done pretty quick. So thanks so much for joining me on the trip today, and for everybody that's been watching, I hope you enjoyed it. So a little bit of Silver Dollar City history here. Heller Spring is actually named for Shad Heller. That was a bunch of gibberish. Ew. A little bit of Silver Dollar City history here for you. Heller Spring is actually made. I can't talk.